Hello, and welcome to the Joondalup Early Learning Center training video. My name is Jeremy, and I'll be your captain on this journey into the digital frontier. So first of all, this is the front of your website. To access the backend, the administration area, you need to put a / and then wp-admin. This will bring you to the login page, which looks like this. Put in your login credentials and press go, and you'll be into the back end. You'll be greeted with the dashboard, which is really just kind of a little bit of a snapshot of your site. So these little widgets, as they're called, contain information about the site. You don't really need to spend too much time on the dashboard. Where you want to focus on is the contents of this left-hand navigation area. And the most important of these is the pages and posts. Okay, so just so that you can get started doing some editing throughout your site, we're going to click on the All Pages, which will give you a list of all the existing pages on the site. You'll see, just for some fun, I've thrown in some sample pages. You can muck around with those without affecting the site in any way. All the other pages are live pages, meaning that if you make changes, they'll be reflected in the front end of the website. So, on that note, let's have a look at some of the functionality of some of the pages. Okay, so if you hover over any of the pages, you'll see that 4 options appear: Edit, Quick Edit, Trash, and View. View and Trash are both quite straightforward. All you need to know about putting things in the trash is that the trash is a temporary container that will keep that page for 30 days. You'll see up here we have some items in the trash. If you click onto the trash and delete the items from the trash, then they are actually permanently deleted. So we're in the trash can now, and you'll see here we have Restore, which is if we've screwed up and accidentally put a page into the trash, or Delete permanently. So clicking Delete permanently means that it is no longer accessible. We can't get to it no matter how hard we try. So before you do that, just have a little think. Will I need this page? Anyway, pages are deleted automatically after 30 days. So best policy is probably just to leave it in there until it gets deleted. Anyway, back onto the pages that are live and available. So the home page here is obviously the front page. If you click on Quick Edit, you can change things at what's called a meta level, which is just information about that page. So the title, the slug is the URL or the web address information. So if you put the base website address in and then /home, then that will take you to the home page. Similarly for any of these other pages, let's say the locations one here. Yep, surprisingly its slug is locations. However, I'll come back to this in a moment, just so you've got a better understanding what the slug is. The slug is important because when you're linking to pages within your site, when you're building the site out, you need to be mindful of just the slug. More on that in a moment. Don't worry if this is all going over your head. It's not necessarily designed to do that, but it's a lot of information. So let's try to simplify it a little bit now by clicking on the main edit option, and this will bring us into the page editor for the home page. Now, very important that we note, your website is built on the Avia framework, which is an advanced layout editor. So if you get on the page, if you click on a page that you want to edit and you're like, there's nothing here, then the likelihood is that you haven't activated the advanced layout editor for that page. So we'll do that now by clicking on that button, and ta-da! All these fancy pants additional elements become available. So this is the home page. So really we should be seeing a little bit more information on this page than this. So let's refresh it and see if the layout is going to turn up for us. Okay, so non-advanced layer. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to pause for a second and find out what the hell is going on. Okay, and I'm back. Thanks to the magic of television, it appears that nothing has happened. Okay, so what was going on is that the front page is drawn from the welcome page, so we're actually on the wrong page. So just so you are clear about this, and again, I do understand this may be a little bit of information overwhelm. It's actually the welcome page here that we're editing. The easiest way to access the page that you want to edit, when you're logged in, you have an additional editing bar at the top of the website. Simplest way to edit the page that you're on is to click the edit function. So for the home page, there's edit front page, and then howdy doody, here we go. Here are the information areas that appear on the home page. Okay, I promise you, it's not a glitch in the website. That's exactly how it's all meant to work. So, how do we edit content? Well, I'm glad you asked. Basically, you just click into the area that you want to update. Now, there are three types of information that we have on the page. There are layout elements, content elements, and media elements. So layout elements determine where content goes. Content elements are the actual types of content. Media elements are things like images, video, audio, etc. Some of the more kind of, sexy, stroke, spunky types of functionality. For the purpose of editing the existing pages, we don't need to worry about placing layout or content elements. However, I will show you in a few minutes' time just how quick and easy it can be to create a unique layout. More on that later. So for the moment, we click on the page that we want to edit, and this top section, I'll go to the page over here so that we can compare what we're working on to what it looks like in the real world. So here's the editor. On the next tab is how it appears in the front-facing portal. So as you can see, if we click on this section, we have the heading text, which is currently "Welcome to Joondalup Early Learning Centre." Just for the purpose of exampling, I'll say hello. Great. So if we update that, over here on the right hand side, this is what we need to do to make any of our changes go live, is click the update button and then refresh the home page. You'll see that that text has been added to the end. Now that's not going to work for us, so let's remove it. But basically, as you click into any of the content areas, you'll see that all of the front-facing information is represented in that area. So you can see here we have the option to display a subheading, which we've done, and here's the text for that subheading. So we come across, that's that text there. The best thing that you can do is just jump into the system and start clicking on boxes and familiarizing yourself with how each of the content elements works. You'll see over here, well-being and resilience, and this lorem ipsum, which is Latin, as I'm sure you would know. Basically, it's just dummy text. So you just need to click in here to change out that content with hopefully words that make sense, or not. Keep the Latin, I don't mind. On the home page, there is a slider. To update those slides, click on the easy slider, and you'll see that each slide is represented by an image, like so. To change one of the images, just click into the slide option. Click here to change the image. We're not going to do that, but that's how you do it. Okay. Same deal with these three information boxes. If you want to change the information below them, click on the little section there. You'll see you can choose an icon. Here's the title. Do we want the title to link anywhere? Well, we don't necessarily want that, but just have a look at all the options. You see here we can link it to a page or a post, just keeping in mind that posts are kind of like your news articles. Otherwise we can set it manually, or have it link through to a topic, a category. Okay, we're just going to leave it as no link for the moment, and this is where you would update the content. Just on the home page, as I was building this page out, I noticed that one of the things that you have to be very careful of if you're inserting images for those sections is to make sure that the image that you're inserting is either the correct size or the dimensions for the image have been chosen so that they're larger than the available space. Now, what does that mean? I'm glad you asked. Okay, so we're going to insert this image again, the exact same image. If I could just remember which one it is, this one here. Okay. So when we select the image, you'll notice over here we have an attachment display setting. Now 300 by 250 is actually smaller than the available space. So if we click on insert, what will happen if we save that is that this image size is now too small. So it's not going to match up nice and neatly. So we click into this again. We'll need to insert the image again. Whoopsie, wrong image. Okay, this one here. And over here on the attachment display settings, you actually want either the full size or one of these default measurements. So this is actually a featured thin content area, but we're going to choose full size because it is easier to remember. Okay, now if we go to the home page here, these images have been linked to content areas. So we'll just dig into that again so you can see what's happened here. So we inserted the image. Previously I applied a link setting and I chose from the drop down a page and then a link to our center. Okay, I didn't apply a caption, and the animation which I chose was simply that when we go to the home page, which you can do by clicking on the logo at any time. See how they pop up? Let's try it again. We'll reload the page. Boom! They pop up. So cute. Anyway, it just gives the site a little bit of dynamic appearance, which will make your friends go, "Ooh, what a cool site you have." You'd be like, "Yeah, totally." Okay, so back into editing. So these settings only apply to this image. That's all they apply to. So you can create them as I say, as links. You can give them animations, blah blah blah. If you get stuck, then obviously these are the kind of things that you can bring to our training session. Okay, so on to the next thing. In this color section, on the live site, we have a picture of you guys, right? You've got an American black guy in your team, and you know, this is obviously a tea-tree looking person. Anyway, to replace this image, we need to begin editing this color section, which is actually a layout element. So you'll see over here, this is a color section. I would have dragged that color section down to this section here, and then clicked on the edit icon, chosen the parameters. So this one, I don't want to set it to a minimum height. I want it to be determined by the size of the image. Lots of padding, blah 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 blah. Again, just muck around with these settings. But most importantly, the section background, I chose this image. For your website, and this is important, prick up your little ears if they're not completely overwhelmed with information at the moment. The width of the images that you use, if you're using them in a full width area like this, must be a minimum of 1600 pixels wide. Ideally they're 1920, which is the resolution of a full HD monitor, which is now standard. So until the Ultra HD comes in, for full width images to look like they have the right resolution, they should be 1920 pixels wide. Okay. The way that you would update then is just to insert that image. I've got a handy dandy little large image here just to make a point. Again, just notice over here that we want it to be either full size or featured large, like that. So let's make it full size. We'll insert it. Now this is a huge image, but we'll save it. And now we refresh this page, and bingo bango, grrr. We need to update the page to save our changes prior to refreshing. Thank you, that was a little mistake that I put in there just to make sure that you're paying attention. You can see that the image that we've uploaded or we've applied has now come across. Now look what's happening here. On this image, the black text doesn't work. So what do? Well, let's go down to the text that appears over the image. You'll notice that I've clicked into a different section. It's not the background section, it's the content section. Okay, we have the heading and the text. And we'll click on colors. Currently black is selected, so let's choose white. Okay, done that. We're going to update and refresh, and boom, now it looks a lot clearer and easier to read. However, let's say we want to make that stand out even more. We would come down to this, whoops. Okay, so here we click into the color section. So this is the container that contains that content. And the section background overlay. If we click this, we have the option to apply a color to overlay over the image. And this 0.05, the overlay opacity, is basically a measure from number 1.0, which is 100% opacity, meaning that you can't see through it at all. This just means that it's 50%. So we're going to put a 50% black overlay over the image, update it. Just so you know, this is what I've done with all of the headings of your pages. So we'll just overlay that. Sorry, refresh that. Now you can see that that black overlay means that the writing, which is white, really stands out. Okay. I think that's enough to get you started, to help you to know the kinds of questions that you want or need to ask, or just to drive you completely nuts. Either way, I'm happy. In the new year, when you get back from holidays and we get a chance to have a little bit of a training session, at the very least, please have made sure that you have watched this video. I know you'll be getting to this section of the video at the end of watching it, whereas I should have put this at the beginning. Anyway, the answer to the trick question that I'll ask you in the training is elephant. And if you can't answer that, then you're dead to me. Anyway, hopefully you're having an excellent break, and I look forward to connecting with you in the new year. Until then, may everything awesome happen to you. The end.